Hey Aries, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. General reading, take what works, leave what doesn't. Use your intuition for what's relevant to you. I'm using my intuition over here, and together we're sort of collaborating on our intuitions with this. So we're going to be doing oracle card readings over here, and then if you want, you can join me over on Vimeo for a more traditional tarot spread. All right, we're going to start with the crows today. Ghosts. Huh. Things from your past. Things that want to move on. Things that, right, we have the dropped feather here. This thing that can be dropped. You can move on from something here. This is the ghost. This is the past. It doesn't belong here anymore. It's not of this time. So we think of ghosts, you know, of like from a different time period or from, but you know, just within your own life, it doesn't have to be like something from the 20s that you kept. It could be something from your 20s that you kept or from your teens. So it's a ghost. It's from a period of time. You don't, there's a sense of moving on from it and that it's time to let something go. Well, or maybe it's just about it's just something that's kind of haunting you a little bit still. I mean, we can say it's time to let it go, but it's time to let it go when you are able to let it go and not before, right? We can't wrench that letting go. This isn't letting go, having someone do a tug of war, having your shoulds pull at you, yank at you. You should be over this. Right? We can't, that's not letting go. Letting go is like that, right? And sometimes we do it very slowly, and sometimes we hold, and then all of a sudden, ready to let go. So something from your past haunting you still. Maybe it's time to contemplate how you're going to let it go, how you're going to move on. You have permission to move on. The thing's really gone. Like it's gone. It's over. It's over. It's like, you know, we can't raise the dead. So this thing is over. It's a ghost. It's lived its life. It's not, there's not anything left here for it to do. And it has nothing more for you. We also have balance. Maybe trying to find that balance, right? I was talking about that tug of war here and trying to find that balance between letting go of something and still not quite being done, some unfinished business still, and then the process of letting go and trying to find that balance. I'm really seeing this as a tug of war thing, rope of your like, it's done, yes, but am I done with it? I don't know. So trying to find some sort of balance in this tug of war. Your past maybe trying to pull you back in. Something you're not quite ready for release of yet, though. It's haunting you. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Yes, ma'am. Breaking the chain, healing something from the past, breaking the chain, breaking away from something from the past here. We have the there it is, right? And I was just talking with this about this card in a personal reading where we have this there can be some agoraphobia here as we emerge into a new life, into a new way of doing things. We can have some sense of this past thing still kind of haunting us, or the way we did things still not quite ready for doing things in a whole new way, but also not 100% ready. Like we have this cave here. It's still within sight. It's still here. So breaking the chain, and making a different choice, moving forward, moving into a very different future than perhaps what you envisioned, and leaving this sort of darkness behind, this cave, this grave, this past situation, right? Ancestral patterns, talking about maybe not even ancestors, but maybe just something from the past, something that's back there, and moving on, breaking the chain, breaking free from something. There's a lot of freedom here. And then we actually have these little like ghosts here, right? These little like There you are. This is what you're doing. And then we have these ghosts coming out of this cave. And these little past selves you kind of leave behind. It looks like a process. Definitely seeing a process here of these iterations of you. And here's these past yous, these ghost yous back here, these past yous, and this is you right here. So totally different future. This looks really different. This sun, this light, this air, to this cave. This cave may have been really important, actually. Gave you a lot of safety, a lot of security at some point in your life. We don't need to hate the cave, but there is something where we need to start heading into some light and leaving this past thing behind. But again, we've got ghosts present in both of these shadows of ourselves, or these remnants of old selves and old experiences going back into the past. Oh, full moon in Cancer, personal issue reaches resolution. So yeah, some sort of resolution, some sort of ending, like you're going to see it. You're going to know, and this resolution, right? Because we're talking about these ghosts from the past here, and they sort of want some release. They sort of, we've been through this process of letting something go from our past, and this is it's going to happen. We're reaching resolution. So this is some sort of issue that you've dealt with in the past, maybe an experience that you had that still sort of haunts you or still is with you and comes with you a little bit into the future. It's reaching resolution. So it doesn't necessarily say that resolution is here today, but at some point that we're going to see everything we need to see. The full moon indicates that to me. See everything we need to see, know everything we need to know, have analyzed everything we need to analyze, and there will be resolution. So you may still be dealing with this haunting, dealing with this past and this past self and this cave that may have been a little bit scary or may have been difficult at some point, but this is all part of heading towards some sort of resolution and laying some sort of issue to rest and letting something go. So it's all part of a process is what I'm seeing here. I'm not seeing any and it's resolved and we're done. We're seeing sort of a process, and you may be revisiting a process that you've done before, right? We have the spiral indicating our personal growth and how we reach the same point in the cycle again, but we've grown a little and we've grown a little. And every time we reach that little point, we've grown a little and we're better able to deal with it. So you may be dealing with a problem or an issue that haunts you from the past or that you've dealt with before, but this is all about resolution. I feel like there's a sense that you will break free of this. It will be resolved, right? This ghost will rest in peace finally. Is it going to be today? Is it going to be right now? I'm not getting an indication that we're done. I'm getting an indication that you're having a cycle to cycle through this for the purpose of someday being done and having it rest in peace. And I think, being able to, seeing a graveyard here and being able to go back to it when you so choose, when you want to deal with something, rather than being haunted by the past. So if you want to, once everything's rested, laid down and put to rest here, you'll be able to revisit when you want to. But right now there's a sense of it's sort of unbidden visiting you, haunting you. You'll be able to haunt the grave when you're done here. So this is all part of some sort of process of coming to resolution. We have initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Okay, so maybe we really are getting some sort of resolution here, right? And going into it, again, if you're in some sort of healing cycle or something like that, heading towards it, it's scary, it's difficult, it's much scarier heading into it. There was an experience I had the other day and I was like, oh yeah, it's this card. It's like, I was worried about something, and then as soon as I got in it, I was fine. It was okay. It was like it was all the approach to the threshold that was the scariest part. And then I see, we have this light out here. So this is almost the view from inside this cave. So you may be actually a little bit earlier on in this process. So this could be the view from the cave, what she saw in this cave, this threshold, this rite of passage. And maybe you've already passed through this rite of passage, but you're somewhere along this path here that goes out this way. I love how these two cards came out. This is really cool, actually. This is the internal view. It's a little scary. The outside looks scary. We have maybe a little agoraphobia coming in of what's it going to be like to be released from this? What's it going to like to emerge out of this? And then once we emerge, there's still a lot of growth that needs to happen as we move towards being like fully healed from this. But I love this. It looks like there is full healing possible here. And there are maybe some scary things, some threshold, and maybe you've already crossed the threshold and the past is still kind of, but as you walk away, you can still feel the coldness of the cave on your back. You can still remember what it was like to feel, to approach this and the memories. The initiation can also be about like some sort of graduation, convocation, birthday, anniversary, anything like that. We've got a lot of, this can just be, separate, although with this one, it feels very much part of the story here. But I can occasionally get this card just for a birthday or, any kind of rite of passage that we have here. So rite of passage, maybe you're in a new place and you're adjusting to that, and there's a move or something like that where you're adjusting to a new place, a new energy, and heading into it was really scary, but now that you're here, but we still have this haunting thing. And then I love this one, dance with life, do something to change your energy. So when we experience sort of this haunting, the cold winds of the cave on our neck, remembering what it was like to be on this side of the threshold, when that comes up, one thing we can do is we can change our energy. So we can change, right, and there are multiple ways to change your energy. You can move your body differently, dance, workout, jog. I hate jogging, but lots of people like it. Or you can do it through breath work. Changing your breathing can often, if you can just change your breathing pattern, focus on breathing. There are lots of really cool apps to do that. You can actually change your mentality as you're working on your own breath work and doing your own breathing. So it can be easier to change where your mind is. So if you're having any sort of flashbacks or PTSD or struggling with this haunting, just remember that you can change your energy externally. You don't have to keep it in your head. You don't have to change your thoughts or change whatever. You can change your breath. You can change your body, and that will be a boost and an assist to change your thoughts. So you don't just have to work with thinking it through. You can also add a physical component that will actually change how your brain is processing something and what you can think about. So that the dance of life, do something to change your energy, straight up dancing, and then also dancing with life as far as like being a little bit playful, co-creating with life, understanding that you can't just force things to happen. We got that message a little bit with this ghost thing, but you can sort of dance through some steps of having something, getting closer to a goal, not necessarily forcing it. So dancing with life doesn't mean to me like you get to dictate to life, but you can make a suggestion like, how about the foxtrot? And then life is like, a waltz? Okay. Let's do that. I'm fine. Yep. So dancing with life, taking some steps towards something and allowing life to sort of meet you halfway and do its own thing too, right? We didn't come here to be dictators. We came here to be dancers. And we've got dancing happening with us. Oh, this card keeps showing up, but I love it because we've got this sort of threshold idea. Okay. These two cards have been very popular, actually, very popular cards. So keys on trees, a little bit of an awkward situation. You can get out of it, and it may take a few tries. That's what I'm seeing with this here too, these ghosts right here. Whatever sort of situation and this initiation, you could be anywhere along this path. You could still be in the cave, and this is telling you you can get out. This is also assuring you can get out. It is going to take some work. Right? You can get out of, this is an awkward place, a difficult place to be, but you can get out of it. You can move forward. It is going to take work and maybe a few tries, right? And that's almost what I'm getting here with these ghosts, a few tries before it's really real and it really sticks. So awkward situation? Yeah, possibly. didn't intend to be here, didn't mean to get into this situation, but you've got some means to get out. You've got some ability to get out. It is going to take work and experimentation. So this could also be about this threshold, moving through something, moving through a difficult energy, but it is going to take work and practice and experimentation. We have pure nature. Again, this is definitely a threshold. Like the transition you're going through right now, the change you're going through right now, you're not going to be able to undo it, right? It's just this natural life stage, like from seed to bud to flower to seed. It's part of the cycle of life. So you're really like a graduation or whatever. You're not going to go back to being, an undergrad. You could if you really wanted to, but you're not going to go back to being in high school. You're not going to go back to being in elementary school. Once you graduate, once you move, once you hit this initiation and you move into this next level, there you're at the next level. So again, we have this hitting the next level, but the past still kind of clinging on to you. But a personal issue reaches resolution. So there is something here, emotional growth, emotional resolution available. And that's what this says too, is that this change can happen. And when this change happens, it is going to be, right, it's like death. Like it is going to be irreversible, right? As I was talking when I first saw this card, it's this movement and then it's this stoppage of like they're dead, right? Their life is over. It's a ghost. It's not a half alive human, because then we'd be looking at a hospital here and not a graveyard. It's a ghost. It's something that's very much over and very much done, and you never have to go back there. But there's this lingering haunting that's happening. And so that's what I'm getting from this too, is that something is happening it's going to be over. And this resolution, I mean, we've got several cards of something being over, but the energy still kind of is remaining. And you might have a few cycles, some grief cycles or some cycling through it where you think about it from a new perspective, right? Because as you're continually growing, you see the world through this different perspective. So you may need to revisit this through different stages of your life, and how you see it from this perspective and how you see it from the next perspective, right? Because you're always going to be changing. You're always going to be going through new things and progressing forward. So in this, I see a lot of progress forward. In some sort of personal, maybe emotional or psychological issue, a lot of progress forward, but we still have some hang-ups and some things that, and I don't mean that in a bad way, we just still have some lingering issues here, but you are moving forward. I mean, we've got multiple cards of this passageway and moving through something into a new level, but there's still something from the past hanging on. So if you'd like to join me over on Vimeo, if not, I will talk to you guys in a while.